everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Hyrule Chronicles. It's episode number 81.
One.
And, I am the GM Articulate T. This is our Legend of Zelda D&D campaign, and with me today, as always, I have Renji Vox being played by the Netherlad.
Always a pleasure.
I have Hikan Sio being played by Avrdal.
Hello.
I have Robo Pirate playing Zaiden Shari.
Hey there.
I have Max being played by Keistrith. Very quiet. Are you there? Hello?
Hello.
Hey.
I briefly got distracted.
That's alright.
No worries.
That's okay.
I got distracted. I made my eyes kind of glaze over for a second.
Ah.
That's alright.
That's the thing.
Yeah. So, friends, what happened last time?
Last time, the party left Hyrule Castletown on the latest mission to go find Nihilus. We kept a lookout on the off chance that we would see the Arbiter or the Sovereign Hand, to no luck. So we finished the way over to Kakariko. After reaching Kakariko, we put the pins on so that we were easy enough to see, and everyone knew that we were of the same party. We went in, talked with the council, found out that Zelish was too busy for things, quote unquote, and that one of the Grandmasters was sick. Gave them an update. Renji offered some information. And then, after talking with the council, we split off into two parties. We split off into Team Healy, who went over to go heal the other Grandmaster, who was unable to make it due to being ill. It was being tended to by Paya, Renji's mom. And then then Team Bumblefucks decided to go forward and deal with Senor Grumpy Pants. And after having a decent conversation, Hikan decided to push his luck with somebody that could probably blink him out of existence. And yeah, we went over to Paya's afterwards for some tea.
Slight interjection. It's Pina. Paya is the
Pina.
girl from Breath of the Wild.
I forgot to let her. I apologize. And then we went over to Pina's for some tea after the other team healed and talked about giving the Grandmaster there the raw flint book that we got from the Sealed Isle. And during some tea, Hikan got a brilliant idea and went for a unplanned family reunion, which went about as I expected, but probably a little bit better than Hikan himself expected. And they decided to rest since it was getting to afternoon in the village before heading up Death Mountain, where Max had a dream with our mysterious old spiritual benefactor person thing. And Max had some questions asked of him. Max tried to return the favor, and the guy was like, I wish I could tell you, but I can't, and I'm sorry for that. And then Max woke up, and here we are.
Here we are indeed. Turning once again to the early morning of Kakariko. It's still dark outside, considering how short.
I'll be back in a sec.
Okay, considering how short your general sleep cycles are. But Max, you are greeted with a blanket of stars above you as you have slept outside, feeling well rested and not having awoken with a start, but having full clarity on the experience you've just had. the rest of you, having slept inside, have been undisturbed in regards to sleeping, thankfully. Like whatever you usually experience while you are sleeping / trancing is more or less the standard fare that you would expect. But Pina hasn't woken up yet, and it's still being fairly early.
In that case, I think I'm going to try and get some breakfast ready for everyone, and also just to make sure that like my mother doesn't have any like chores to do in the early morning.
Okay.
I think it feels like a sleepover at like family where you do feel comfortable, but it still isn't home.
Yeah. There's that kind of.
Given that he's spent most of his life in Kakariko Castletown now.
Yeah. There's a weird disconnect.
Kakariko Castle? No, Hyrule Castletown.
That's fine.
Oof.
It's all okay.
Kakariko suddenly gained a castle.
Boom.
It's alright. But yeah. Yeah, there is that kind of weird disconnect that you might be experiencing. Like that kind of experience you get like the second week, maybe, that you've moved into a new house. Where it's like you are well aware that this is your home, but it's still new or different enough for it to be kind of, but yeah, like you know where everything is. Like nothing is changed to a massive degree as you go about preparing breakfast for people. I'm not going to make you roll for anything, unless you want to try and be extravagant with it.
No, it's not so much to show off, but just to make sure that, like, my mom's already working so hard with everyone in the community and the elders, that now that I'm here, I might as well, lessen her burden.
Okay. But yeah.
I'll ask you to make an extra plate. Hikan will ask you to make an extra plate.
Okay, and I'm kind of doing like the mental arithmetic. Are we inviting someone?
No, I don't think Zelish has probably eaten well in the past little while, and one of us should probably go over and deliver the thing anyway, and I was planning on doing that, so figured it'd be a kind gesture.
You're not wrong. All right. And there will be an extra plate.
Have your extra plate. You yeah. So I'm guessing eventually, like, people kind of congregate in the living or in what would be the equivalent of the kitchen, to kind of just like enjoy this breakfast that you have created for everyone. Uncharacteristically, Mara is probably the last person to arrive. unless anybody else wants to specifically arrive last. Kind of like wanders downstairs and kind of situates herself with the rest of you. There's a how did everyone sleep?
All right, I suppose.
Quite well.
Max is gonna wait until Renji's mother isn't in the room before he talks.
She hasn't come downstairs just yet.
Okay. Cryptic old man's back.
Huh. Okay. What do you say?
Well, he keeps saying he wants stuff from us, but doesn't say what, as usual.
Right. I saw him once, but he was pretty quickly scared off. Well, not so much scared. Banished? I think. Unless my memory completely betrays me here.
May have been a mix of both. The like the from what you remember of your first visit with the old man, was that I think it's probably more accurate to say that the harvester severed the connection.
Right.
Like just shook you awake to bring you out of the conversation.
I'm gonna go on your behalf.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Pretty on par with what information that you've had about this guy before. Turns up, asks you a kind of cryptic question, then promptly departs. It doesn't seem, at least outwardly, it doesn't seem particularly underhanded or devious. Like there's no ulterior. Well, there probably is an ulterior motive, otherwise you wouldn't be doing it. But the there doesn't seem to be anything malicious about it.
Right.
Okay. Oh, I was acknowledging.
Okay.
I do wish some of these things we encounter, these people, are a little bit less cryptic.
Yeah. I haven't encountered this guy.
Oh.
No.
Okay. Well, if you do.
Maybe you should ask me about that next time.
Yeah.
What kind of question did he ask you?
Can I get a reminder of the exact question? Because I've slept since then.
Well, that's the thing. So have I.
Yeah.
If I recall correctly, it was a general God, I listened to it a few hours ago. It was
You haven't said since then.
no, I
Excellent.
haven't. I just have a bad memory about some things. When I need to remember them, it was kind of like, who are you to you? Who do you think you are? Type of thing. And then the first question that he asked you, I remember this one for some strange reason, is why are you doing what you're doing?
Yeah. Which was the same one as last time, so it's not gonna repeat that.
Hmm.
Max glances at the stairs to see if
Seems to be no
Reggie's
movement.
mother is coming down,
Seems to be no movement yet.
and then says, with some kept trying to ask if I know who I am. It's very uncomfortable coming out of his mouth.
Sits there and thinks about it for a moment. And, well, he asked me the first time I haven't seen him again if I could change people the way that they acted, would I? And, well, I probably know the least amount of stuff from stuff like that guy. What if he's just asking us these questions to keep us on track?
What purpose, though?
He seems to want our help with something, but I have no idea what or by us.
We sailed off into a place to go deal with some pretty dark stuff. There's a cult going around that's telling people that bad things are good. There was an entire cartel of people that were doing all sorts of stuff with war. Maybe it's just to keep us from losing our path and a lot of the negative stuff that's going on.
How does he know what our path is?
How does he get into our dreams?
Try to ask him about that. It's
Hmm.
about as forthcoming as usual.
Khan shrugs.
Seems very invested in answering questions, but not so much in answering.
I have noticed that from your reports, considering this guy. I barely had time to talk with him. Renj is just kind of resting his head on his arm, on his arms as he slouches on the low table.
Mara looks to Zayden. Did you get a visit from this guy?
Side maybe AFK.
Ah. So weird. So
I believe Zaiden's visit was the one that made it like, oh, he's visited everybody.
yeah.
Except Renji.
Yeah. You're making round.
Okay.
Fix that, Mara.
Mara will just kind of say, well, I mean, if he's not visiting me, I don't know why then. But it might.
It's not every night, is it?
Oh no.
It's been a minute.
Hmm.
But in any case, if whenever we're in an area with a lot of, with like a library or something, or any kind of other place that I can try and find some kind of information. I'll do my best to try and find something on this guy. It gives me something to do for a little bit.
Hmm.
So it's a little bit of time before Pina manages to wake up and make their way downstairs. In the meantime, roll on this handy dandy table for weather, because I have that now.
Whether or not.
Before Pina gets back down, if Hikan finishes, he'll grab the extra plate and Renji's missive and be like, "Will you ask your mom if she'll watch the horses? I don't think we should take them up the volcano."
I can ask her. She'll probably not be. She'll probably not be doing that by herself personally.
Raises an eyebrow at Renji's fancy clothes and looks around and just kind of nods in understanding.
More in the sense she has other responsibilities.
Just able to. We'll go run fresh breakfast and the information to Zelish.
Okay.
Oh darn it, Zelish can probably recognize my handwriting. I just don't want. I just don't want him
Max
to
wasn't
think of
gonna
me.
write it, and Hikan wasn't gonna write it, and were you gonna make Zayden write it?
No, but I just don't want Zelish to think of me. In general, I would rather fade from his memories.
Well, considering his state of mind currently, you might not think about it.
Yeah, but it could also just be a trigger. Like,
If your dad's name wasn't a trigger, I don't think your handwriting's going to be a trigger.
I know, but
And I know that for a fact
anxiety.
because I was reading his mind.
All right, yeah. But Renji does not know this.
Just give it to his god outside and disappear. It's fine.
I'm going. It's fine. I'll hand it directly to him. He told us to give it to the guard.
But yeah, so Hikan, you depart in order to provide breakfast and information to Zelish. The village of Kakariko is very quiet, quieter than it usually is at this, considering the time of day. As you look up and see that the sky is lightening a bit with the coming of the dawn, you note that that it's rapidly getting rather overcast day. Seems that the pleasant weather isn't going to be joining you on your hike up Death Mountain. But as you make your way over to the big house where Zelish lives, the guard kind of looks over and sees you and holds out a hand and says, "And ask your business, please."
Is this a different guard?
It is a different guard.
So I was here yesterday on behalf of the Storm's Eye venturing party. We're looking for Nihilus Fox. This, and he hands over the missive, is an explanation of what we've been doing for Grandmaster Zelish, as it may have information as to who killed the king. And this, Hikan hands him the plate of food, is breakfast, because judging by his demeanor, he probably hasn't eaten a good meal in a while.
Right. He kind of like scans it over very briefly. He says, very well. If you leave that with me, I'll hand it to him. I don't know whether or not he's actually awake or receptive of visitors at this time of day.
Activate the helm of telepathy. Is he awake?
Activate the helm of telepathy. What's the range on that?
I think it's. That is an excellent question. I think it's 30 feet. Which he has probably a bigger house than that, but.
Yeah, you can't seem to lock onto him. Seems to be out of your.
Detect thoughts is within 30 feet. Okay. No, I'm not going to use suggestion just to get him to get the food faster. All right. Khan will shrug and pass over the stuff, and then head back to Pinus to meet up with the party.
You done and you meet back up at the party. Pina situates herself down at the table and having a polite conversation with all of you with just like a bit of small talk. She then looks to all of you and says, "So, when do you make your way?"
Probably as soon as possible. With Hikan returning, do you know of a place that we can stable our horses? Now that you mentioned leaving?
Well, we do have places here that can be stayed. If you leave it with me, I can at least direct some people to lead your horse to the appropriate location.
That would be much appreciated. I have become quite fond of Pom.
It's all right. Well, I'm sure that by the time you get back, they will be in good health.
I'm sure. Thank you.
But did you guys have anything else in particular in Kakariko that you wanted to do before you made your way towards Death Mountain?
We'll find out that Max has like barely touched his breakfast, and it's probably been mostly like doing the shoving it around his plate thing.
Is it pretty clear because his dream was invaded?
No. Here's where we're going. After Death Mountain.
Yep, I was going to say, understandable. No.
I would probably notice Max not having eaten unless you want to specifically hide it from me.
Well, he's not hiding it because he's not really paying attention to it.
Max, eat up. We need our strength. Not saying this to be mean, but we have a job to do.
He still barely eats anything.
Mm.
More because he feels like he can't
Mm.
than out of pettiness.
With everything prepared, breakfast having been consumed, you gather your belongings, you gather your party, and venture forward, onwards towards Death Mountain. There is a northeastern path out of town that makes its way towards the mountain itself. Notably, steering clear of the Firevine Forest that you've already previously been through at least once. It's probably
Renji will make a mental note of asking Zayden at the end of the day to maybe get some good berries going.
I already have good berries.
Already have good berries.
I always have good berries.
Give Max one.
I'll offer Max a good berry.
Alright. Max takes them, but it's a bit reluctant to eat it because of all the attention he's been getting.
Uh,
But he does get it.
that's a relief for Renji.
Okay. And so, after a fond farewell, you collectively begin your journey out of Kakariko and make your way on foot towards Death Mountain. It takes a few hours, or a fair few hours, like the better part of a day, to make your way towards it, mainly because the ground towards the Death Mountain range is pretty dang uneven, and even with a trodden path, it's still winding and unbalanced, and it's just not a very good road, but you make do. And the overcast from earlier has not changed. It seems like it's on the cusp of raining, but it doesn't seem like it's going to get there anytime soon. After a long time worth of actually journeying through, you suddenly trade the hills and rocky landscape around you that have like a couple of trees or some other smaller features. They basically transition into what is now clearly the foot of the mountain. There's just jagged rocks either side of you. Each one of everything looking rather perilous in every direction, except along this one dedicated road that you're journeying on. And directly ahead, you can see, looming over you, is the colossal volcano that is Death Mountain, a continuous plume of white smoke emitting from its summit. It's a miracle, truth be told, that Death Mountain, despite its name, has not wrought more damage to the kingdom and its surrounding area as it has. And much less so for those of you who are not Gorons, how Gorons could possibly make a home there. But in any case, on Death Mountain lies the one major Goron settlement that you know of, and there, probably lies a cartographer, or at least someone who might know where the specifics of this tower is and where Nihilus might be kept, if he's there, of course. But yeah, you continue along on your journey. Thankfully, it hasn't gotten to the point where you need to do any dedicated climbing yet. What are you doing along your journey here, as you have made your way at least this far?
Hikan's keeping an eye out, and I would assume that he's kind of taking the lead of the pack because he wanted out of Kakariko as fast as possible. Well, maybe not as fast as the rest of them for different reasons, but he was very uncomfortable in the village.
That's just kind of seething.
Yeah.
May or may not be murderous intent of the anime variety.
Yeah.
Oh no, the anime variety.
It's just this kind of this trio of Sheikah who are like trio of Sheikah and one Hylian woman just kind of wandering normally and looking around, and then in the background at the very back is just a silhouette in this wreathed in this aura of lightning, like that is actually there. That's just the representation of fury and seething rage that Max is.
And of course, the menacing lines.
Yes.
Can't not have those.
Yeah. They must be there.
Indeed.
Oh dear. Yeah, you make your way along. I don't think there's anything in the world that isn't specifically a ninja or an assassin or a ghost that can get past your passive perceptions, so I won't even need you to roll anything.
Gotta watch out for those ninja ghosts.
Or is willing to approach us given my passive intimidation.
Yeah. Oh dear. But as you journey along the road, I would like to know your marching order, actually. So, Hikan, you said you were going to be largely leading the pack because you more or less flee Kakariko as best you could.
Among other reasons, but that's the primary one, yes.
Yeah.
I will stay mostly. Oh, go ahead.
Max probably is trailing behind a little bit.
I didn't go in the middle.
Yeah, I was thinking the same. Just in case of anything happening, I would be able to get quickly to any, like front or back.
Okay. So if I were to number the positions from 1 to 5, with with person at front being 1 and person at back being 5, I'm going to say Hikan at 1. Max at 5. Yeah. So 2, 3, or 4, Zaiden and Renji.
2. Could I make a suggestion for 2 or 4 and put Mara, the squishiest of us, in the middle?
That's possible. Yep.
Mara at 3?
Okay.
Yes.
Then I can go 2 or 4. Doesn't really matter.
Could split it up a little bit. Have Zaiden at 2 because Zaiden's a primary caster, and Renji at 4 because Renji can be either.
I can be anywhere with Misty Step. And I can hurt everywhere with Thunder Step.
Yep. Okay. So, with your collective perceptions, You notice quite quickly that you've garnered the attention of one specific life form that makes its home upon Death Mountain. Just peeking over the edges of rocks that kind of line either side of the road, you can see these creatures which appear to be four-legged, but they have this kind of chitinous sort of body and
I knew it.
armament to them. They have a singular red eye that looks down in your direction, and they kind of wait and stare.
These beasts or not?
These, your passive nature's high enough. You know that these are tektites. They are beasts. I may have forgotten to actually put them into your list of things, depending on what CR they are.
That's alright.
Might have just not seen them.
They're basically jumping insects. They have mandibles and stuff, but their key mode of transportation is to jump. And they can walk on water too. Usually.
Well, for those of us who don't have massive passive insight perceptions, we'll point them out.
Also, Gamesy, if you're watching this sometime in the future, maybe you want to skip this combat.
Not a fan of bugs.
Not fan of bugs.
Understandable.
Hikan's gonna keep walking until it shows malicious intent. Now I'm gonna whack it with a stick.
I will ready a few blast of Eldritch in case of combat.
Okay. They kind of like, do you keep approaching or do you stop as you see them?
So we were headed towards where they were.
Yeah, they are kind of in the rocks clustered in front of you.
Is there an alternate route?
Not without a lot of climbing.
How much climbing?
A lot.
More than 170 feet? Or 165 feet?
The rest of us as well.
You got ladders, so I can take it up.
If we're stopping to discuss this, Max does probably accidentally bump into whoever was directly in front of it because it was paying attention.
Renji.
That would be me.
Yeah.
I kind of... You wouldn't, like, startle me, but definitely, like, alert. Renji just turns like, you okay? We have probably some company up ahead.
If it doesn't look easy enough to get around it, Hikan's just gonna keep going.
I'll just suggest he'll go speak with them in a bit.
There's
You
like
want to take 10 to...
the situation is it would be easy enough to get around them, but it would basically triple the amount of time it would take for you to get to where you're going, because you're currently working along the only key established road that gets to where you're heading to.
We determine a way to spook them off.
Give me a nature check.
24.
24. You could one of the fastest ways probably to scare off the tektites would be to try and establish a sound that is equivalent to a bigger predator or a bigger creature that exists on Death Mountain.
Oh, okay.
Black Titan will turn to Max and say, "You have thaumaturgy, don't you?"
Max doesn't need to use soul magicians. Max will step forward and roar loudly in Draconic.
Okay. Roll out. Give me an intimidation check with advantage. I was going to say with insight, but that doesn't make sense.
Okay.
Give me a wisdom-based intimidation.
31.
31.
Wisdom
But-
base would lower it.
Yeah. I kept going through my head like examples of how you could do an intimidation check with every single different ability score. Like strength would be you pick something up, you crush it.
Or just look big.
Or look big. Like dexterity
If you
is
have
you.
big muscles.
Dexterity would be you take something sharp, you throw it at them just near enough to them, but don't actually hit them. Constitution would be you take a sharp object and you run it down like your face or something like that and don't flinch. And there's a bunch of different things that were going through my head. It's like this is the versatility that is included in D&D's decoupled skill system.
Yep. Also, I want expertise in my charisma skills. I do.
But you're a rogue. Shouldn't you have expertise by now?
Yes,
Yeah.
but not in my charisma skills.
What did you put it in instead?
I put it in perception and stealth.
One of those is a wisdom skill.
Yes, and one of those is a dexterity skill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were free to put them wherever
Like, I
you
still have a
want.
+9 in deception
At
and
least you have
persuasion.
at least you have access to expertise without getting a feat.
That's true, and I'm really appreciative of this this
So
multi-class.
stop your bitching.
It's fine.
Yes, sir.
Hmm.
Okay.
Anyway.
So you stride forward and taking advantage of all the pent-up fury that you have currently acquired, you roar loudly in Draconic with the sudden the sound echoing through the mountain range, which is in fact enough to cause each of these Tektites to flinch and then promptly turn around and run away. You have successfully avoided this specific combat.
Thank you, Max.
They are so scared that they don't even jump.
Yeah, they scramble. See, if we're going by Ocarina of Time Tektites, they can't even walk forwards on land. They have tank controls. They have to turn on the spot and then jump.
Yeah.
Fucking tank controls.
Yeah. Oh dear. But yeah, successfully avoiding that in particular, you make your way further up the mountain. The road becoming a bit more treacherous now, and the incline becoming steeper and steeper. A couple of an hour passes by this point, and you're once again stopped on the road ahead, as each of you, with your passive perception, manage to hear the tumbling of rocks nearby.
Is it rolling rocks?
Not particularly. It's not the sound of a rolling boulder. It's like the tumbling of small stones on like a rocky surface.
Okay.
Is there somewhere where I can run up real quick to get a good look ahead?
Yeah. You run up ahead, and there's different spots that you can hop up on in order to kind of get a bit more elevation. Looking around, give me a perception check.
Okay. 22.
With 22, you find that it's not something that you see. You look around in every direction, you can't seem to find anything. However, what becomes apparent to you is where you're standing, there appears to feel like this kind of vibration in the ground. Some kind of like tremor. Whatever it is, it's heading towards where you guys are rather quickly.
Okay, I slide back down. It's like, okay, I don't know what's coming on. It feels like something's coming this way relatively quickly. We can try to get up somewhere. I can help you guys with that, or push ourselves against the wall and continue moving forward.
I grab my shield and my ignite aspiration. You think it's like a natural thing or something? You said something was coming closer,
That's what it felt like.
right? Maybe find some cover.
Like coming this way, did it mean like through the ground or above the ground?
Feels like it was through the ground.
I don't think finding cover is gonna help. Out
Right.
of character.
So
You have to make Hikan promise he wouldn't. I'm just like, I want to use the quick nine. That'll fix it really quick. That'll fix
no
it really
volcano.
quick.
No, it would not fix
No.
it.
No,
It
would unfix the problem very quickly.
But
It would give us different problems.
They're using.
It might fix that problem.
They're using dig, earthquake auto crits on Pokemon that use dig.
Yeah. But volcano.
Well, yeah.
Also, different franchise. This is not Pokemon.
We just ran it. We made the bug types ran away. Now we got it. No, I'm kidding.
Oh dear.
Either
Yeah.
way, we're gonna have to move.
Mm-hmm.
Fast.
Face it head on, or try and get away from it. What do you think?
When you say face it head on, I'm just gonna look at the rock between us and it and go, move.
Yeah, I'm saying the closer we get to Goron City, the better in this case. So forward.
Yeah.
Okay. As you you begin to pick up the pace, you continue moving forward in order to make sure that you can get ahead, just to hopefully mitigate as much damage from this as possible. But it soon becomes apparent as there's more of a far more present rumbling that seems to be coming from multiple directions as you're continuing onwards, and you stop in time just as the rock in front of you, like in the side, just on the side of the road, just explodes outwards. None of you get hurt. You're all far enough away, but now blocking your path is this large green scaly quadrupedal creature. Looks kind of like some of the monsters that you've encountered on the Ixan Isle, but definitely not like that particularly. It's big and tanky, and it has this kind of rigid crest and two sharp tusks on its lower jaw that complement the singular horn that's on its snout. And it just seems to be hunkered over in a form of defiant aggression, and as you kind of contemplate this creature, you hear an explosion to a different side of you, where a second one appears, and then a third one appears directly behind you. It appears that you have been surrounded. And for that, I would like everybody to roll initiative. One.
There it goes.
Hold on. Let me clear some folks off the board here. We don't need you. We don't need you. We don't need you. We don't need you. Or you. We also.
Can't see Siphon's name or health bar.
You can't?
Nope.
No.
Interesting.
Maybe it doesn't have the same settings as everyone else.
I don't know if they're in Shota players or not.
It's possible.
Their permissions. See. There we go. Save settings. Weird.
I can see health bar but not name.
Oh.
I am a man of no name.
I'm saying that because it probably wouldn't show up on the player's version either. There we go.
Weird how you can't see the numbers.
The stream version, sorry. There we go. Can see it now.
Text overlay to everyone. Alright, okay, so let's see what you've got in here. So I can get rid of this first collection. There we go. Alright, so I'm gonna start up some music, try and get the initiatives for some.
I know there's other things.
No music playing for you guys at the moment?
Yes.
Look, it is not playing for me.
It says 0. Oh, refresh. See if it.
I would refresh, but I would lose all of my characters.
Yeah.
And have to reopen.
It might just also
Nothing
take a
currently.
moment.
Well, it said 0, 0 out of 0, 0 for me, so.
Yeah, same for me
Yes.
previously.
I see Cass's theme
Yeah.
from is saying 00. So I think it's just going to take a moment to load.
Okay.
That's possible.
Well, I
Was
had to
playing for
log
me,
back in
so-
when I refreshed, so maybe something to do with that. There we go, it's
Yeah.
playing now.
Okay, I'll try and reload that as
Oh,
well.
so it is.
I'll refresh.
Oh.
Oh wow. Yeah, I had to sign back into Roll20.
Yeah, same here.
Mhm.
How weird. They must have been having a thing.
How would?
Yeah. Might
There
have
it
had
is.
something to do with it.
Yes.
If you wanted to keep all your sheets open, you could have just refreshed on the Hyrule C one.
I have the audio turned off on that one so it doesn't overlap.
Oh. You could have turned the audio on that one. Because the audio wasn't working on the other one.
Right, now then. So I only really need this, so I apologize.
No worries. It's all good. Best board.
Yeah. He's got a good theme too. He's better than the other bird.
Yeah. Let's see.
Hey, Bob.
No, I hate Rivali with an undying passion.
Rivali is a jerk. Sure.
He's just Falco. He's literally just Falco from Star.
Yeah,
Barrel roll.
but I haven't played Star Fox.
That's fair.
Hmm.
Okay. Alright. So let's start with their initiative. Oh god, all the chat's already scrolled all the way to the top.
It happens. Alright.
I had to refresh again because I couldn't open the chat bit.
Uh-oh.
Oh, it's fine.
Okay,
It works
that's-
now.
Oh no, I saw already roll another initiative and it was for Mara, and it was like, oh no, there's more enemies. Sounds like
Has more
something
initiative.
somebody... Yep.
Alright. So, Renji, it is your go first.
Yes. I am going to rush over here, and I'm going to just slash twice.
Okay.
That is 19 to
That's
hit, and second is 24 to hit.
That's a hit too.
So, I will do my sneak attack damage on the first attack. That is... I try and click on the damages, but it doesn't want to work.
Oh, that is interesting. You don't know which to roll. Roll20 seems to be having a moment today.
Yes,
Oh,
indeed.
yes.
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay,
There's
so that's one, which is apparently 20 points of damage,
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
because it's not Hexblade's Cursed or Radiant. And I suppose I will do just... what is it? 1d8 plus 7 for 9 points of extra damage for this second attack.
Okay. Glorious. All right. Brilliant. So you run up and you cut into this thing. The brilliant blade of aspiration cuts into the scales of this monstrosity rather easily, and it roars defiantly in pain and anger.
Does it feel like it wouldn't have done as much damage if it was just a regular blade?
No, you seem to think that it would have. Yeah. Well, see, that's one of those things where it's like, because you haven't hit it with a
Would I
regular
know
blade,
this?
you can't count it. You can't really compare.
How would
No,
you
that's true.
tell?
I have wielded a normal longsword before.
Have you
Against
tried the
one of
Drongo with a normal longsword?
No. That's true. I haven't.
How does a magic sword hitting something feel different from a normal sword hitting something?
I don't think aspiration actually feels like much.
How does a lightsaber feel different to a normal magic sword? Questions
Exactly.
that will be asked later.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah.
Also, there was a longsword before the Twilight Blade.
I'm asking how does it feel different, not
Mm,
like-
I don't know. DM, how does it feel different?
I don't know.
later. Combat.
Later. Okay.
Combat
Okay.
now.
Combat first.
Yes.
Yes.
Is there anything else you want to do on your turn?
I've done all my movements. I think with a bonus action, I would like to cast. No, I do not want to cast anything with this. Nope.
Okay. Right. In this case, Zayden.
So Zidon will look to Hikan Sio. You've got the one in front, right?
Yeah.
Okay. He'll snap his fingers as wispy blue flames will wrap around him, going for a cold fire shield.
Ah.
And he'll stride down here. Just gonna grab a chunk of this here rock, and it will spread up and up around his body, growing larger and larger.
Ah.
Stand against this Dodongo.
Nice.
And now does it go.
Okay. It is.
Rockman versus
there
Rockman.
we go.
Ice Rock Man.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Old Rockman versus Explodey Rockman.
Okay. All right. So, the Dodongos in question. Let's see. This one is going to move up here. The one attacking Renji, this one's going to try and bite at you, Renji, as it.
Why not? It's
It's
rude.
you.
Yeah,
Have it.
fine.
Opens its mighty jaws and clamps down and 11.
No! Oh, what?
We've got plenty of healing, don't worry about it.
I know, but that doesn't seem right. 12 damage.
Thankfully, they don't have multi-attack.
Oh, thank goodness.
Yeah. The one fighting the Earth Elemental will attempt to do the same. 19 for 37?
It takes 2d8 cold, and I half that.
Okay.
Is that round down or up?
Damage is rounded down.
Okay, round 2 is 18.
I wouldn't throw this many at you guys if I didn't take them.
It's just not in its interest to bite rocks.
Especially rocks that are on blue fire.
Indeed.
Let's see.
Bite me if you can.
Well, this one's not going to bite you. This one's going to kind of stomp up, and as it's running up to you, its mouth opens and it takes in a deep breath before unleashing a gout of flame, a 15-foot cone in front of it. So that would be... That would be... You and...
Me and Mara.
That would need a dexterity saving throw, please.
I fail. Still take half.
That is surprising.
It's very surprising. I rolled a 2.
It's the second lowest you can get, yeah.
Okay, so you take half of 15.
I take 7.
You take 7. I'm going to roll for Mara to see how she does. Dexterity save. 19. She's okay.
Yay,
Also
for
takes
Mara!
7. Alright. Okay. And that'll be their turns. Max.
You know one thing I really, really hate about Sorcerer?
Mm-hmm.
Careful Spell is something that you have to take in lieu of other things.
Yep.
And it costs a
Yeah.
sorcery point. And it's not as good as something that a wizard subclass can just do for free and is better.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's also
Because-
good to reboot.
With the way these two are positioned, I can't use the spell I want to use without hitting Hikan and Zidon as well. And
Mm.
they would also still take damage from it.
Is it Dexter?
No.
Okay. So I asked.
So it's a terrible shame that I can't use it.
Such a shame.
I get that feeling a lot too.
Sorcerers
Mhm.
do need to be like And then again, I'm the type of person who thinks that the sorcerer casting stat should be Constitution, so
I just want careful spell to be like they almost in the saving throw, and they essentially get the evasion stuff where they just also don't take anything. It should
So
just
you
be
want
they just don't
sorcerers to
take
be
anything.
benders.
No, I want sorcerer's careful spell to work.
yeah.
That is also fair.
Instead, I will center here a 40-foot cube. Oh, actually, no. Yeah, that would heal all of them. Really? What 40-foot cube is? Does it start at the middle and then 40 each way or 20?
I think it might be 20 each way.
Okay, I will start it here then. So it hits these two. Because I can't also get bounties in there. And I'll cast slow. Is it
Nice.
intelligence save?
That's a good question.
There's a wisdom save, no intelligence save. I clicked the wrong one. That's a wisdom save from them.
Wisdom save. Alright.
That will
It's a
take
pity.
that as well.
It's a pity that it wasn't intelligence save. They couldn't.
If it
actually
was
cast it.
intelligence, if I could do the fucking thing I want to do with careful spell, I could have made it an intelligence save and they would have got their asses kicked. But no.
Yeah. That's alright. They have no modifiers, so they're going to fail a DC 19 rather swiftly.
They
so
got
they are
slowed.
slow.
Oh wow.
And then I will use Quicken Spell to aim at the one on Renji. A little bit closer so I can help him. Not risk damage from the other ones too much. And just throw a wish bolt in the direction. 15 to hit?
Unfortunately, 15 does not hit.
Okay.
They're rather tanky
I tried.
bullets.
Over 2. Once. There you go. And that.
Right.
No, there, not there. Okay.
Gone.
I'll click something real quick. Okay, no, that didn't work. The intelligence was highlighted, so I was wondering if I clicked that, if it would pop open the thing. So Hikan's going to do a 15-foot back or side flip over here, and if he can, I want to use the Javelin of Lightning to hit the two Dodongos.
Okay.
So I'm aiming for this one, but the lightning would go through.
Yeah.
That's a 22
Okay.
to hit that guy.
The one at the back you hit perfectly fine. So he takes 27 points.
Nice.
And the one directly in front of you tries his deck save. And fails, taking a further 13.
Alright.
Nice.
For my second attack, I am going to punch this thing's tail because I'm now behind it for a natural 1, which is fine. I will flurry of blows to get a couple more shots at this. That's an 11.
Sadly not enough.
How about a natural 20?
Natural 20 hits. As you since you're specifically targeting the tail, you miss the first one as it's kind of whipping around from being shocked with lightning, and then you just kind of just hit it with a short and efficient uppercut, dealing significantly more damage than you would have expected. So that's
Especially because getting frustrated at those two misses, Hikan punches it with an aura of necrotic energy
nice.
and one more d6 because it's putting that on there. For 10 more, and it is considered poisoned until the end of my next turn.
Use the power of die.
It's considered a
Power of murder.
Just in case you were curious.
Okay. Nice. A lot of damage. Mara's go. Mara will draw her new weapon and is going to. She's going to. Fuck it. She's going to run up to this one and try and smack him.
Yeah.
It hits for a total of 7. And that's all she can do. She can't really do anything else. She doesn't have a ability to disengage as a bonus action, so that'll do for her for now. Renji.
Right. I think the previous thing went pretty well. I will use Hexblade's Curse on this one, as I see that the others are being taken care of by the others. So that is 1 Hexblade's Curse on this guy. And then I'm going to be using Aspiration twice again. That is a 31 to hit.
That hits.
Which is lovely. And I will be using my sneak attack on this one. If
Yeah,
it doesn't want to.
it'll get there.
Come
I
on.
mean, let's see if it will.
Okay, so I better roll 2d8 plus Hexblade's Curse is let's
Static
see.
damage.
Yeah, that is static damage. Okay, so 2d6 plus 6d6 because sneak attack twice. Plus 7 for my regular sword damage, and the bonus action is plus 4. So 2d8 plus 6d6 plus 11.
Okay.
That's 48 points of damage.
Okay. So with that one strike, you cleave through a significant chunk of its body, and it roars one final time before slumping to the ground. Yeah.
Okay. One attack left. Darn it, I used my bonus action already. I will move 10, 12, 20, 30 feet. Can I just like materialize a hand axe and throw it?
Sure.
Wait, no, I have a dagger already in here. So that's a 23 for a dagger,
Okay.
and that is 2 pure points of piercing damage.
Yep.
And that would have done 15 points. Oh, never mind. Yeah, that's that.
Okay. Zidon.
I burrow under it. Does that give it an opportunity attack?
It's slow to can't. Doesn't
yeah.
have reactions.
Yeah.
Oh, I would want to move here for the 20 feet range.
Can this thing just dig through Earth anyway?
It does have a burrow speed.
In which case,
And
Now
if it's burrowed underground, we can't hit it, so.
I'm just gonna go for glide around, say, this side of it to set up later flanking, and slam it.
Both hit. Both only 7 damage. Very nice. You just kind of slink around the creature with more mobility.
Glide. Earth glide.
Yeah. You glide around it with more mobility than one would expect for a literal boulder with legs, and you and you position behind it to crack into it, dealing a significant amount of damage to the creature. Very nicely done. Alright, and then on there goes the Dodongo that is fighting Hikan and Mara is going to attempt to whip around and try and bite at Hikan, considering you've hit its weak spot.
With disadvantage because it is poisoned.
Oh,
Thank God.
yeah.
There you go. That's better.
It's a critical miss.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Or a critical hit. So,
The other one is going to try and fire breath the earth elemental. Dexterity save for that one there. Pass, so as you take a quarter damage since you pass a save and you have resistance to fire.
Excellent.
Oh, 5.
5 whole damage.
5 whole now. I love that. It's glorious.
I love this for us.
Yeah. Alright, and that will be their turns. Max.
this one seems to be being dealt with by people, so I don't know if it's on this one. Kaboom! Low for lightning bolt. Straight through the bottom one. He's fighting inside him.
15, because it's got a
Yep.
-2 from the slow. So it's a total.
That's 38 lightning.
38.
Ooh. Nice.
Nice.
And as a bonus action. Okay, let me just check something side. When I do but my thing when I do lightning damage, does that only apply once a turn or just to every lightning?
I forgot what thing you do to lightning damage.
It's the draconic sorcerer thing. Hang on. Not gonna find it. Look.
When you cast a spell, so every time.
Okay, cool. So then I will bonus action. Follow it up with the fucking witch bolt. 26 for 12.
On the same one fighting Zidon?
Yep.
Okay, that hits.
And that is me done.
Okay. One thing I forgot to do on the Dodongo's previous turn, as you're kind of progressing to fight these Dodongos, the one that has recently just been slain violently explodes.
Ah, poop.
In a ball of molten flame that it
Oh no.
in a 10-foot radius. So you were out of it before it exploded.
No, I wasn't.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, you were, because it was
It
at
is-
the end
it's
of
been-
its turn.
Yeah.
Oh.
Explosive demise.
Ah, right. There's a delay. Good.
Yes.
Dodongo will explode on its next turn. Yeah. Just give people a chance to get out of the way.
Thank you.
No
That's
worries.
very considerate of
Yeah.
you.
The Armos did
Of those
pretty much do
Dodongos?
the same thing. It's just that the Armos themselves move when they try to explode.
Yeah.
They chase you, bastards.
Mm-hmm.
All right. But yeah, so that one just. But now your group is now aware of what happens when they die. You can't.
Alright, screw it, I'm gonna get rid of the advantage that I have by kick flipping off of this wall to go back to its rear end and smack its butt. 26 for 6.
Hits.
24 for 6 more.
Uh-huh.
Why would you do that?
Flurry of blows. 20 for 11.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
26 for 11.
And that is enough. You slay this
Okay.
Dodongo with your bare hands, and it slumps to the ground. The scales upon it already beginning to crack as it loses its ability to hold itself together.
15. Oh, I've got plenty of movement. Okay, I'm gonna look at Mara and go, you should probably run, and then hop over here for flanking.
Okay.
And that'll be turn.
Alright. Mara's go. She's going to do as instructed and run. Just over here. Just kind of backs away from the Dodongo and just kind of like still holding the mace, ready to fight against anything else that comes up, but yeah, just getting out of the way. Renji.
One question before I move or do anything. This Dodongo
Yeah.
has the Twilight Dagger in its body.
Mm-hmm.
Question. The question specifically is, does that do anything when it dies?
Let's see.
That's it, like it's a
You send an
Fla-
exploding
fla-
Dodongo
flame.
to the harvester.
Oh, please say it gets through and explodes.
like if it still explodes, then I want to send it to the harvester so bad.
Just lands
You know-
right in front of him and just boom.
You notice that it's not like it begins to pixelate, but it doesn't seem to be going anywhere in a hurry.
Okay,
Right.
no worries. Just a question. With that, I do basically ignore it, and let's see. Can just straight up get there. I would like. Do I have advantage with silent flanking?
Yes.
Good. Then. What is this? This is the one. That is a critical hit.
Okay.
For which I would like to use.
That's
My,
an 18 on the dice, and you don't have this one hexed.
Oh, poop! Yes. Okay. Then it isn't. But let me just roll it again. Oh,
Ooh,
whoa,
oh,
whoa,
geez.
whoa, whoa.
Oh, that's interesting.
The second one was a 16.
Okay.
A 16 to
Are you
hit.
talking about the green roll on the first one?
Yeah.
I was talking about the green roll. Yeah.
That's a 19, not an 18.
Yeah, it's a 19, but I don't have it cursed, so it isn't natural. It's not a critical hit. So
But it's still a 19, not an 18.
Yeah.
it was a 19. Yes.
Okay, so the first one does hit.
Yes.
I'm going to count 24 as a second attack because there was only one roll of dice on that one, so that would be.
Right. Yeah, that would have been a
Yeah.
super advantage as well.
Yeah, so that would still be.
and
So
that
you
is
have a
weird.
16, a 24, and a 24.
Okay. Let me just roll the damage as is 2d8 plus 3d6 for 1 sneak attack damage. And the normal 7. 14 points for 2 attacks.
Correct.
That is 31.
Okay. This is fun.
I do not decide the amount of dice.
You do not decide the amount of dice, no. But it's still a lot.
Yeah,
Um,
I appreciate it.
So you kind of like pressing the advantage with Zayden kind of just clobbering this thing. It's already been slowed through magics. Yeah, the subsequent stabbings finally take this thing's life, and it collapses to the ground.
Move away. Bonus action dash.
Okay. All right.
Oh no.
Oh no!
Turn order, I can't move.
In
Oh,
which
no!
case, can I grab it, drag it 30 feet underground, then come back up?
What I would like to do is use my dash action to drag.
It's a
Hikan?
dexterity saving throw, guys.
I know, but I
fine.
don't want you to get hurt. I know you can handle this, but still.
I'll be fine.
No.
I'm not gonna get hurt. It's only a 16.
It's okay. You can do both.
That's the guy who exploded himself a few sessions ago.
That was a
Hikan-
charisma saving throw. That's different.
Like,
Still
you
exploded.
must realize Renji dislikes smoke.
Also, characters aren't as aware of mechanics as we are.
Yeah.
So,
They're
I
gonna want to
move
pull you away from an
15
explosion.
feet with Hikan if he allows me to.
Dragging me 15 feet that way doesn't help us.
Oh,
does.
right.
Oh,
I
yeah.
killed this one on my last turn.
That way.
So 1, 2, 3. It would be there and there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay, cool. Zayden, did you still want to drag this one underground and then come back up?
You could also
Yeah, why
chuck
not?
it down the mountain.
It's a
Um,
depth charge.
Yeah. So yeah, you're able to, with your earth elemental powers, you're able to grab it, pull it down, come back up, their effective next turn happens. There's a shudder as the one underground explodes, but no one gets hurt. And then the other one explodes while it's still there. There's a brief pause for you, Renji, as you just kind of feel in the back of your mind. Nice try.
He's not happy.
And you successfully defended yourself against one of the greater threats of Death Mountain, the Dongos.
In my defense, I didn't fully think through that these Dodongos explode after death. It was more like, what happens if you kill something that is in direct contact with a Twilight weapon?
That's fair. That's fair.
But also, I would have liked to have something explode in
It
the Harvester's face.
It would have been really funny.
It would have been, yes.
It would have been really funny. But yeah.
But yeah,
Okay. But yeah, you have successfully defeated the Dodongos, and there's kind of like you can hear kind of like the reverberating crack of the explosion noise echoing across the mountain range.
everyone good?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm okay.
Do
Max?
we know that these are Dodongos?
Considering the amount of lightning he flew around, Max looks a lot less crackly than usual.
I give a gentle pat on the shoulder. You seem fine.
Right.
Good. Zayden?
I don't know, give a thumbs up.
All right. You wanna
Specifically,
stay
probably
like
having to
that?
form a thumb to put it up.
Yeah.
Pick up a
Your
nearby rock
petals.
and stick it on your arm.
Do we know that these are Dodongos?
We should
make
keep
a-
moving.
Make a nature check.
They're trying a lot of noise.
8.
Curious about that. 18 plus 2.
But yeah, you know that Renji, you know that these were Dodongos. Volatile, burrowing creatures of and carnivores that patrol various hot climates, particularly volcanoes.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, they do violently explode upon death.
Fair enough. Now, Articulate, I know that improvisation is a matter of yes and, but you can just say no to this. Did Renji have a book read to him as a child that is titled Dodongo Dislikes Smoke?
I don't know that reference.
It's a Zelda 1 secret reference.
Okay.
It's to tell you that put bombs in their mouths.
High or low?
Let's go high.
94. That's a high. You did get get read as a child. Dodongo Dislikes Smoke.
I'm just happy that there is a children's book called Dodongo Dislikes Smoke in this world now. Reggie just like puts a hand on his forehead and is like, okay, so these things are real. Okay.
What are these things?
These are Dodongos. They
Oh,
dislike
bags-
smoke.
those bags of jerky I keep getting?
Yeah.
It's made from them. Wait.
Too much
Kinda
information.
looks for any body, like body parts that are left. How do they make jerky out of these?
Make a survival check.
I'm better at those. 21.
There is viscera. there are chunks of Dodongo lying around. Not like they just.
I gather the chunks of Dodongo. Oh, jerky's delicious.
We're in business.
Yeah. Oh dear.
Putting that on the character sheet right now. Chunks o Dodongo.
Yeah.
There's so much energy this session. It's great.
It's explosive.
Yeah. But yeah, you acquire some Dodongo meat, and some scales, and yeah, you kind of like as you're going through this, as you're going through the process of kind of gathering all this stuff up and kind of finishing off the fight
Next is
itself.
also like keeping an eye out in case anything was drawn by the sound of explosions.
As you
Oh. Mara only lost like less HP than that because I would have made snacks and she would have had temp HP because I'm a chef.
Yeah.
Okay, so as you kind of as you're gathering all this stuff up, you hear more rumbling, but this time it sounds like a rolling boulder as opposed to anything else, and it's soon apparent that as you're kind of like as you look up to see what's going on, you see a pair of Gorons just come to a complete stop just nearby. They like kind of hop up from their rolling and land, and one of them draws a maul, the other one has a smaller hammer, and they look around and it's like, everyone okay?
Yeah. Well met.
Aye.
Could you point us in the direction of Goron Village? We're headed that way.
Yeah, behind us up the hill. You sure you're okay?
Yeah?
We've had worse fights.
They kind of like look around and see like what used to
The
be
explosions and the explosions and the explosions.
yeah. just
Scorch
what
marks
used to
and-
be.
Max is just standing there completely like just staring at them.
And a con making Dodongo sausage.
And at that time, I extinguish my sunblade.
Oh dear. They kind of like look over the like, okay, well, if do you want to, like, the one that's speaking kind of stops himself in the process of asking, do you want an escort the rest of the way? Because clearly have handled things very well. Considering those things, it's like, dude.
By the way, I kind of like call up to them. Has Darunia passed by here already?
Oh, yeah. Darunia, he came up the hill like yesterday. He was he was in high spirits, but he's usually in high spirits. You guys know him?
I figured. We've traveled with him from Sarkosa to Hyrule Castle.
Ah. Well.
We had our own stop there, but we traveled here with just a little bit of a delay. But I'm glad to hear that he's arrived in good spirits.
Oh yeah, of course. Well, don't let us keep you then. I guess we'll maybe see you around in town.
Thank you. We'll follow you.
Alright. They trudge their way back uphill because they can't roll uphill, sadly.
They were on a roll, but not anymore.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But yeah, after making your way, or after kind of like acquiring the materials that you have now come across, and just kind of dusting yourselves off a bit.
Come across is an interesting way of saying exploded.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh dear. You continue along your way up Death Mountain. Like at this point, the smell of sulfur is inescapable. Like you can still breathe comfortably, but it's just like there's a profound smell of sulfur as you get closer and closer to the summit. Despite the prevailing weather, things feel hotter and hotter as you go. But eventually, mercifully, you follow the path off to a slight decline, and at the bottom of this short path, you see a large hill with a pair of Gorons who are standing guard nearby with a pair of spears, and they kind of look to you, and they both smile and nod a bit and say, travelers, welcome. There's not exactly many that we get up here, considering the situation. Are you gonna be staying for long?
What situation?
Well, volcano. We,
There's something out of the ordinary.
Oh.
Do excuse us, we have dealt with many things on our travels, and hearing you speak of the situation, we are prone to thinking about emergencies and crises.
Fogs that eat people, stuff like that.
I see. Well, yeah, we haven't really had much of an issue. Like, there's been more Dodongos around lately, but there's not exactly much.
We've met them, yeah.
Yeah.
Three less man.
We heard the explosions from up here.
Yeah, unfortunately for them.
But yeah.
You guys have some good response times.
That is true. You were there very quickly, or at least. Can I see if these guards are the ones that we?
I don't think they would be if
previously?
they were just standing out the door.
Yeah, exactly.
They are definitely different Gorons.
Okay. The folks that checked in with us were very quick.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, like, we kind of have, especially if a problem occurs on the lower parts of the mountain, we have something of an advantage. But
That's true.
For the most part.
Oh, sorry. I was going to say, in regards to your previous question about how long we will be staying here, we are here on Throughfare.
Okay.
We do wish to, if at all possible, talk with Darunia. We've met him on our travels from Sarkosa.
I just
And
gonna step forward and like cut you off and just say,
mm,
"Has anyone seen a strange tower nearby?"
Tower, huh? Well,
And then Max gives a perfect description of the tower.
okay. They both mull it over a bit, and the first Goron guard just kind of shakes his head and says, "No one's mentioned the tower. But then again, when it comes to the mountain range, we usually travel underground, and traveling overland is a bit more hazardous. But if you wanted to, there might be some people who might have popped up on the surface from time to time. We have a let me see here. If you try and find somebody who is associated with the Iron Vein Mining Company, then you might be able to see whether or not they've encountered something along those lines. We have mines that run all the way through the mountain range, so they might have seen something during their trips. But yeah, give them a shot if you can.
Thank you.
No, not a problem. But yeah, as for speaking with Darunia, he's usually quite busy, but I'd say depending on how long you have in order to wait, then you can see whether or not he's able to take guests.
We
But
can
yeah.
head inside, look for the Iron Vein Mining Company, and talk to them while we wait.
well, thank you for your information and your diligent watch.
Not a problem. Always happy to help, especially when we have visitors. We don't, as you can imagine, with the volcano and the Dodongos and all that kind of stuff, we don't exactly get many visitors. Yeah, but it's always worth
Understood.
Seeing how things go.
I just make a quick Hylian bow. And then, if there's nothing else, I'd like to go in. Yeah.
Okay. So you make your way into Goron City, or Goron Village, I guess, where you like the path down is very well lit, and you can hear the hustle and bustle of activity already by the time you set foot inside this cave network, as all the sounds echo off of all the walls. It does sound incredibly busy, but when you get in, you can see that the vast majority of Goron Village is kind of, there's the number, much in the same way that Zora's Domain was constructed. There's very few specific buildings as you would understand them. Most of what appears to be buildings are built into the cave walls, and like there is a multi-tier system by which like all these different places exist. You can see Gorons rolling along different pathways and walking along others. It's just the thing about Goron Village that strikes you the most compared to like say any other village that you've come across is that despite the numerous amount of Gorons that are here, everyone seems to be happily interacting with each other as if it were a much more close-knit community. People are talking, they're loudly chatting with each other, laughing as they kind of continue along their work day. It's just a hub of activity, rivaling possibly that of Hyrule Castletown.
Well, so as we are walking, I would like to sidle next to Max and say, like, hey, that thing with the guards, you speaking up like that. Didn't really expect it from you. Good job.
Look says as I need to find him.
Right. Yeah, of course. We're right there with you. And
Is there having
would
a-
like to keep my eyes.
As they're having that conversation, Hikan walks up to the nearest Goron.
The Goron will kind of look down and smile and says, "Oh, hello."
Hi. We're waiting to talk with Darunia, and we wanted to see a couple of things. Where would we go to find the Iron Vein Mining Company?
Oh, well, that's a different story. Let's see. The Iron Vein Mining Company is usually on the lowest level of Goron Village. If you just keep heading down, eventually you'll find something. There's banners everywhere, you can't miss it. You say he's wanting to speak to Darunia?
Yeah, we know he's busy. We told the guards outside. He's met us before. He wanted us to say hi when we came over because we traveled with him from Sarkosa. And we had some things to take care of beforehand.
I see. Well, by all means,
He kind of like points down into what is basically the bowl of of Goron Village, and points to something basically on the opposite wall, and says,
you see that door down there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's where you probably want to be going. That's the kind of, that door there, that leads to, the chief's home. If you head in that direction, then, you know, he's in high spirits. The door's usually open. You'll be able to see him perfectly fine. But he might be busy talking to others and getting other business done. He had just come back from a long trip. So, by all means, Big Brother will be able to speak to you. No problem. Just, it might take a while. What time is it, by the way? He asks, and you probably know that by the time you managed to get up here, it was coming into the mid to late evening.
I'm not good with time. I know it's probably a bit before dark, though.
Ah, well, that makes sense. If you needing a place to stay, even for a little bit, take my advice. You want to head up a couple levels and head to find the Star View Inn. Best view in the kingdom, I swear to you. By all means, especially on a clear night where you just got the stars and you just got the entire kingdom and land below. It's perfect and worth the penny that they charge, of course.
Okay. And we'll keep that in mind. Thank you very much.
Not a problem. If you need any help, by all means, little one, just let me know. And let anybody know, of course. We're all here to help. And he just kind of tosses off.
I love these Gorons.
Sounds great.
Are you
Okay.
here? You are friend.
The only time that a Goron is ever unfriendly is if it's a plot point.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Also, yeah, I can imagine them going to like a bistro, just chatting away, getting some gabagool.
Okay. So I head back over to the party. Don't know if you caught that. Iron Vein's near the bottom. Darunia is at the bottom. And then we were recommended an inn near the top.
Right. So, best head down ramp, stairs, ladders. What? As I kind of look down into the bowl.
Give me a perception check.
Are you sure? Okay. Well, for you, anything. 17. Only
17.
mildly worse than usual.
You managed to see through the busyness and everything. You managed to see some signs that are available. Thankfully, they're written in both Goron and Common.
How convenient.
I remember being 7-year-old me and getting lost in Goron.
Yeah, me too.
That's why they put up the signs.
Yeah. But as you locate your direction and prepare to interact with the Gorons of Goron Village within Death Mountain, I think what we'll do is we'll call it there for the evening. Thank you very much, everyone, for stopping along and listening to our game. This has been Articulate Tea with Hyrule Chronicles Episode 81, The Legend of Zelda D&D campaign. I have been the Game Master, and with me, as always, I have had Renji Vox being played by the Netherlad.
The big Goron apple.
I have had Hikan Sio being played by Alvarance.
Gorons are pals.
Yeah.
I have Zayden Shari being played by Robot Pirate.
Bye-bye.
I have
I
Matt.
never said that I stopped being an Earth Elemental.
You never did know. They don't.
It's
they don't
true.
care. Like, they're fine.
You're big and made of rock, so you're just a big Goron?
Yeah. Pretty much. And I have Matt.
Would an Earth Elemental be kind of like more Uncanny Valley for Gorons?
I guess so.
Or more of a sense like, oh, he's trying.
He wants to fit in.
He wants
Yeah.
to fit in. And I
You have to get a bit closer before it's uncanny.
Or why is he made of food?
Oh, that.
Why is
Because
it-
they eat rocks.
Yeah.
Oh no,
You're a
the food has
candy
come to life.
elemental.
And I have had Max being played by Keistrith.
Siden's made of food.
See you guys next time. Take care now. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.